Those involved must be held accountable, and there is no higher priority for us at the Department of Justice. As of today, we have arrested and charged more than 725 defendants in nearly all 50 states and the District of Columbia for their roles in the January 6th attack. The actions we have taken thus far will not be our last. The Justice Department remains committed to holding all January 6 perpetrators at any level accountable under law, whether they were present that day or were otherwise criminally responsible for the assault on our democracy. We will follow the facts wherever they lead.
Well, those are some strong words from Attorney General Merrick Garland. That was on the eve of the first anniversary of the January 6th attack. So that was January of 21 when he was talking about, of this year, 22, talking about what he's gonna do now, man. He's pursuing justice, and when he speaks to that type of a language, the law and order party of the Republicans, as they like to dub themselves, they must have just fallen right in line. No, they didn't. What they did do was they came back now, and they're now threatening and warning the Attorney General about ways that they need to make sure this doesn't actually happen. The justice doesn't meet the walk up on the steps of Donald Trump. That's the guy that they're worried about. Warnings, there's warnings. Let's get into some of these warnings from Republicans to the Attorney General about law and order. So Republican lawmakers and strategists warn that any federal prosecution of Trump will be accused of being politically motivated, boost Trump within the GOP and turn into a partisan food fight at a time when President Biden is pivoting to the center and trying to keep his 2020 campaign promise to unify the country. Now also, Senator Mike Braun from Indiana, he said that any criminal referral from the House would, quote, probably have as much political taint on it as you can get. I wonder who would put some taint on it. Maybe Mike Braun. So Braun and others said the Democrats are scrambling to change up the political narrative, and that's in response to Biden's moribund job approval ratings, and predicted launching a federal prosecution of Trump. It would be viewed along partisan lines. Again, all of these things they're talking about along partisan lines is gonna be seen as a tainted investigation. All that's because they're literally saying, we'll make it seem that way. So continuing on, Republican strategists close to Trump, they're predicting a battle royale if the Department of Justice moves to indict the former president. I think it could backfire in a way that they have no clue, is what one Republican pollster, Jim McLaughlin, said. I think it's going to backfire because it's just too political and it's tainted. Again, it almost sounds like these are talking points. The country wants to move on. Nobody's proud of what happened on January 6th, but people are like, with all the problems we have going on in the country right now, this is going to be the focus of the Democrats. Last couple thoughts, because there's an onslaught from these guys. So I was gonna let you guys know, this is continuing on from elected officials on the Republican side to strategists. Continue on, Ford O'Connell, who's a Republican strategist, said that a prosecution will only make Trump stronger within the GOP primary voters. If your goal is to make sure Donald Trump is the nominee in 2024 for the Republicans, then by all means proceed with this. You're just gonna make him stronger. So this is the thing, Jackson. You're only gonna make him strong if you want him to be the nominee in 24. Well, he lost in 2020. I would think you may wanna put a loser back up in there. Maybe these aren't necessarily threats, but these are ways to maybe get them to think Donald Trump is stronger than he is, because within the party, you need to have a loser come back up and lead it.
Well, I think it's important for people to pay attention to the fact that the Republican Party is literally trying to sweep historical treason under the rug. This man, Donald Trump, alone from defrauding businesses and people and in New York and all of that, literally is being tried for defrauding the nation because he made phone calls, he sent out tweets, he did everything he could to literally flip the election. Like there's nothing else to say, there's nothing else to argue. And they're trying to say, oh, well, people are just trying to move past that. But again, this is something that when people look back on the history books 25, 50, 100 years from now, people really stormed the Capitol largely because of the influence of this man. That's no small thing. That's a huge deal. And also, the argument that, look, if you guys do this, you're gonna have a real fight on your hands. So what? That's the whole point. You're there to fight. You're there to win. You're there to push your agenda. And so you really do want that. Okay, fight against that. Go to war. get on the floor and say that what Trump did really isn't a big deal and stand on that hill. You know what I'm saying? So really, yeah.
That's why if you actually push back, they have to back up all this talk. They have to back up all of these things, how they're saying it's gonna be totally divisive and it's gonna be a partisan issue. If you wanna make it a partisan issue, if you wanna say Donald Trump is gonna be your nominee in 2024, have at it. Because we know a large percentage of the Republican Party does not want that. They wanna still use the momentum he got with his racist base and still carry them with them without Donald Trump being there. Now, by the way, I'm glad you pointed out how they think they can just tell you what to do and then you don't fight back. There's a reason why they think that Merrick Garland won't fight back. Because this is the second half of what he was saying just a few months ago. Let's watch.
We understand that there are questions about how long the investigation will take and about what exactly we are doing. Our answer is, and will continue to be, the same answer we would give with respect to any ongoing investigation. As long as it takes, and whatever it takes for justice to be done consistent with the facts and the law. I understand that this may not be the answer some are looking for, but we will and we must speak through our work. Anything else jeopardizes the viability of our investigations and the civil liberties of our citizens.
The most generic statements you can come up with, so you never really know what Merrick Garland and the Justice Department may do. But there's Albert Alschuler, who's a professor of law and criminology at the University of Chicago Law School. He did point out what he thinks this could mean for Merrick Garland and where he's trying to toe this political line. So he said that, however, that while the evidence against Trump appears to support a criminal prosecution, again, appears to support a criminal prosecution, Garland may hesitate to pull the trigger because of the likely political backlash. Garland has said he will follow the evidence wherever it leads, as you just heard there. If an overwhelming case is presented, he may prosecute. But I think, again, this is Albert, I think he would probably prefer not to. That's just a guess. Even if it's a very strong case, I think they're worried about the fact that we're talking about prosecuting somebody who has millions and millions of devoted, passionate followers who would see this as a political prosecution and would be very angry, possibly violent. Okay, so we're not gonna follow law and order. We're not gonna pursue justice. We're not gonna do all those things the Republicans say they're all about because that's the basis of our country. We're not gonna do any of that because he's got millions of people that are okay with the crimes he potentially committed. Is that the way law and order works now, Republicans? Just curious how that works.
Apparently so. Well, as long as it benefits them, that's the way it works. Because again, of course, nobody cares about this. Nobody, so they're gonna keep on going with that. But again, this man literally committed treason, and that's no small thing.
As long as supporters still like it, it's just, let's just let it go. We'll see if we let it go.